So today, Brandon Aiyuk requests a trade from the San Francisco 49ers. Hmm. To be honest, I really don't know why this is such a big deal or why so many people are acting so surprised. I mean, for as long as I can remember, since the offseason, Brandon Ayuk has been very vocal about not wanting to be with the 49ers. Well, he didn't really specifically say he didn't want to be with the 49ers, but he started talk giving like speculation of him being with the Steelers at first. He was talking about, how him and Mike Tomlin they look alike, or how or how he would really fit in the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. And then when they drafted Jayden Daniels, then he started talking about joining the Commanders because him and Jayden Daniels they played with each other at Arizona. So the chemistry is already there. So Brandon Ayuk has been very vocal and he has been expressing his frustration and his concerns with how the 49ers has been handling this entire situation. I mean, the 49ers has been stalling these contract negotiations all season long. I mean, despite Brandon Ayuk's impressive stats, I mean, in his impressive year last year, I mean, they still do not want to sign him a contract this offseason. So for I can remember, Brandon Aiyuk, he ranked up 75 catches for 1,342 yards and 7 touchdowns last year, which is pretty impressive. That's pretty great. That's great. I mean, I believe Brandon Aiyuk, you can definitely make a case of him being a top 5 wide receiver. So let me think, because hands down, Justin Jefferson is the number 1 wide receiver in the entire NFL when he's healthy, but he was hurt a lot last year. Cooper Kupp, he can. I would definitely say Cooper Kupp could definitely be a top 5 wide receiver, but he was definitely out last year too. So you got Tyreek Hill, Nico Collins. Keenan Allen is so underrated. I don't understand why he's not on more top 5 wide receivers list, but I would definitely say Keenan Allen was the second best wide receiver last year, right behind Tyreek Hill. And people could say I'm biased. I'm a Chargers fan, but I watched every single game last year. I paid attention. Chargers was the only team I was watching as well, and that wasn't the only team that I was watching with a great wide receiver. I looked at the Seattle Seahawks. DK Metcalf is definitely not in my top 5. AJ Brown can make a case. AJ Brown definitely can make a case as a top 5 wide receiver. I guess you could say Tyreek Hill. Yeah, I guess you would have to. You got CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, I guess you would. I would put Brandon Ayuk in my top 5 last year. He was a top 5 receiver. I can't really think of any other receiver. Nico Collins was really great last year too. Amon-Ra St. Brown was good, but he was not better than Brandon Ayuk. I would much rather have Brandon Ayuk on my team than Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I'm a USC fan. So yeah, Brandon Ayuk, he's that dog. He is a dog for real. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could say Tyreek Hill, Brandon Ayuk, Nico. No. Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Brandon Ayuk, Nico. And then I guess you could say Jamar Chase probably. Yeah. I'll say that right there. Those are the top 5. Those are the top 5 wide receivers last year. I can't really think of any others, but I don't think. Yeah, I can't really think of any other receivers that produced more than them. CeeDee Lamb was really solid too, though. Yeah, he was pretty great. But we're talking about Aiyuk right now. I'm just trying to see if he was really a top 5. But you could arguably he's definitely a top 5 wide receiver. Period. And there is no question that he's definitely the best wide receiver on the 49ers. No question at all. And I mean, and it was a stat I was even looking at too. It was 2 magnificent stats about Aiyuk, about his production, about just proving how productive he is. I mean, before I even get to the stats, let's just think about what his departure could significantly the significant impact that he can make on the 49ers offensive strategy. They are definitely going to have to find a replacement for Aiyuk to adjust their game plan and to compensate for his loss. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, replacing a receiver like Aiyuk will be daunting. It will be challenging, but at the exact same time, wide receivers in this era, in this day and age, they come in a dime and a dozen. I mean, there are so many, I won't say great, but solid, really good wide receivers that are flooding into the league. And a lot of that has to do with these players starting off at a very, very young age in youth camps. And so like these 7-on-7s or these youth camps that the NFL players, they will host yearly at the local high school that they went to school at, or some of them will host these camps at the local high school that they're playing for. But a lot of the times they host these youth camps at the local high school that they played at. And these kids, they go out. I mean, and they go out and they train them and they train them and they do these 7-on-7. Sometimes they do these 7-on-7s. They do these 1-on-1s. You know, they really do legitimate football drills, and it is training these kids up to be players. And most importantly, the two positions that benefits most of all from these camps is wide receiver and quarterback. Now, I would make a case for cornerback, but I don't really see the results there. There's not a lot of great corners out there. I mean, cornerbacks, I mean, it's hard to be. It's nearly impossible to shut down corner. I mean, there's only so many shut down corners there is. But anyways, with that being said, wide receiver and quarterback, those two positions definitely benefit a lot from these camps, from kids starting off at a very, very young age and then growing up and then going from middle school to high school, and they're already primed up and then going to college. I mean, it's like literally in the back of their subconscious mind, you know, in their psyche, like muscle memory, running these routes and catching the ball and learning how to catch the ball and doing 1-on-1s and the quarterback throwing the ball and locating the ball placement, everything, separation, everything. It's amazing. I mean, I think it's really great. I mean, I have a childhood friend, Tony Jefferson. He just held a youth football camp in San Diego at Chula Vista High School. Not Chula Vista High School. My apologies. At Eastlake High School, in San Diego, and that's the high school he played at. And I was there to help out him and his dad, and it was cool. I mean, it was so nice seeing those kids, do those routes, run those routes, and do 1-on-1s. And I mean, I'm saying like seeing kids like get like one-headed catches and literally like running solid, great routes. And I mean, talking about like kids, I'm like, dang, dog, like, and the kids like literally like having great separation and having ball placement and locating the ball and catching with their hands and not catching with their body. I mean, literally jumping for the ball. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I wish I would have had something like that when I was a kid, I really did. But it was truly amazing. I mean, like, these camps, man, are training these kids up, man. They really are. And so, I mean, I stake the case because Aiyuk, I really don't want to say this, but he could be replaced. But it's going to be a task. But why would you? Why would you want to replace him? Let me just sign the kid, man. Should he be signed to a huge contract like Justin Jefferson? Hell no. But should he be signed to what he's asking for? Hell yes. Yes, I don't think he's asking for that much. I mean, here's the thing. I understand why the 49ers are stalling. Aiyuk is still on his contract. He's still on his rookie contract. So that's that. So the 49ers are not, they're just going to sit there. They're going to be professional. They're going to allow Aiyuk to say what he wants to say, do whatever he wants to do. He's already been fined for missing mandatory camps. So Aiyuk is, the 49ers at the end of the day, they have all the leverage. And they're like in the back of their mind, they're like, Aiyuk can do whatever he wants. He can say whatever he wants. But he probably can't do specifically whatever he wants. But he can say whatever he wants. You know, he can keep giving out these speculations that he's going to suit up for another team, that him and Mike Tomlin look alike, and they're going to be playing. He's going to be playing for Mike Tomlin, or he's going to be playing with his fellow college mate and Jayden Daniels at the Commanders, yada yada yada, whatever. The 49ers is just sitting back. I know that Brandon Aiyuk is going to be suiting up. Number 11 is going to be suiting up for us come game time. September. He may not even play in the preseason. I don't know. But they know for a fact that he's going to be suiting up. Yeah, definitely. And he is. Now here's the thing. I believe that the 49ers, even though they're not going to sign him to a contract right now. They're not going to sign him to his contract this offseason. And they're not going to trade him. What I believe is that the 49ers are going to wait towards the end of next season to sign him. So they're going to wait till, it's probably towards the end, maybe even the offseason. That's when they'll sign him to a big contract. That's what I believe. Now, Brandon Aiyuk, I think there was only one wide receiver that had a higher percentage of catches for first down or touchdown last year, and I believe that wide receiver was Tyreek Hill. I have to look at the stats again, but I'll do another video specifically on wide receivers and on their production last year, top 5. But Aiyuk, he had a high percentage of an 81.3%. And like I said, Tyreek Hill was the only player that had a higher percentage. So this is the percentage of receptions that results in a first down or touchdown. So like these players' catches, they lead to significant plays, either moving the chains or just scoring. So this shows that he is highly effective in crucial situations, which makes him a highly valuable asset to the 49ers. And a lot of this had to do with Brock Purdy's success last year. Brandon Aiyuk was a security blanket for Brock Purdy. Now, I'm not trying to take anything away from Brock Purdy, but I do believe he is very overrated. I do not believe he's a top 5 quarterback. I just don't believe that at all. But Brock Purdy was a very, very great quarterback, very solid quarterback, very good quarterback. I wouldn't say great. I'd take that back. But he is very good. Top 10, I would say Brock Purdy is definitely top 10. And I would say Brandon Aiyuk made a top 15, 20 quarterback into a top 10, arguably top 8-ish, 7-ish quarterback. That's all Brandon Aiyuk. And a lot of people, they like to go overboard and say Brock Purdy was a top 5 quarterback. And some people like to say he was number 1 quarterback in the league last year, which is dumb. But even with those astronomical takes, Brandon Aiyuk had a lot to do with that. A lot. And you got to take into consideration, too, Brandon Aiyuk was still getting his with Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, and you know what I'm saying, and Jennings at the end of the, you know what I'm saying, as a third option. So I know one thing. I didn't watch a lot of 49ers games last year, but every single time when I watched a 49ers game, Brandon Aiyuk was running this way and the DB was running that way. His separation was top tier, was elite. Pure elite. Aiyuk is that real deal. He is definitely one of the best route runners in the game, one of the best wide receivers to create space in the game, has one of the best hands in the game. I don't think I've ever seen Brandon Aiyuk drop a pass. That low, even I think it was in the playoffs when Brock Purdy, when he low threw a very, very low pass, Brandon Aiyuk scooped the ball up like it was nothing, like it was like a tennis ball. Scooped that ball up, and Aiyuk he's a beast, man, and he's still very, very young, and he probably has not even hit his peak yet. He still has a lot of growing to do. Aiyuk is a beast, and also he's an all-around wide receiver too. Aiyuk can also block too. Arguably he's probably the best blocking wide receiver in the entire NFL. I can't really think of any wide receivers that are better blockers than Brandon Aiyuk. And again, a lot of that has to do with Christian McCaffrey's success. The 49ers has to sign him. They have to. which I know they will. I just don't think they're going to do it now. The Niners has all the leverage. They're businessmen. They're professionals. They know what they're doing. They're just going to they're going to be silent about the whole case, and know they're going to sign him when they get ready. They're not going to let Aiyuk walk. I know John Lynch is not going to let that happen. But also, like Aiyuk, he also had the highest yards per. He had the highest yards per route last year, the highest. And so this measures the average number of yards a player gains every time they run a route, regardless of whether they are targeted or not. No, so Aiyuk actually had the highest percentage of receptions for a first down and touchdown. Tyreek Hill had the highest yards per route ran last year. And Tyreek Hill, I believe he had a 3.7 YPRR. Aiyuk had a 3.1 YPRR, which is the yards per route run. So, like I said, this indicates so Tyreek Hill, man. I mean, unless Justin Jefferson is not out, and Justin Jefferson is playing, Tyreek Hill is not arguably is number 2, hands down, top 2 wide receiver in the game, one of the greatest wide receivers of all time, definitely. And Aiyuk had a 3.1, Tyreek Hill had a 3.7. So that just shows you how highly productive Aiyuk was. So, yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I definitely believe that the Niners is going to get this done. They're not going to let him walk. Aiyuk will be a Niner. You know, I know a lot of people who heard that Aiyuk is requesting a trade. They're like, they're probably looking at their phones or researching their teams and saying, oh, you know, Aiyuk in the 49ers, I'm not 49ers, Aiyuk in the Cardinals, or Aiyuk or in the Dolphins, or Aiyuk the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, they're trying to see if Aiyuk could possibly trade it to them, but it's not going to happen. I mean, I know a lot of Hard-Nosed fans are doing that because I'm doing it. I mean, I'm looking to see if Aiyuk could be traded to the Chargers, but he's not. He's not going to the Chargers. You know, I mean, so speaking of all this, now we can play a little game. I do believe, not believe, what potential landing spots for Aiyuk. Let's just say if he somewhat did get traded. Let's say I believe he would like to probably go to the Commanders over the Steelers because of his connection with Jayden Daniels. So the chemistry is already there. And the New England Patriots can use Brandon Aiyuk. Now, I don't know if Brandon Aiyuk would want to go to the Patriots. That would be a terrible team for him to go to. I mean, well, they just drafted Drake May. I mean, but I don't think Drake May has been really solid in the offseason. I don't think he's been all that good. So, yeah, I mean, it would be good for the Patriots, but it would suck for Aiyuk. I don't think Aiyuk would like to be like the Patriots. I mean, yeah, that would be. But then again, look what he did with Brock Purdy. That proves my point. So, Brandon Aiyuk is one of those players. He's one of those wide receivers that doesn't need a quarterback. He can do anything. He can keep producing and being productive with any quarterback that he has. Now, again, I'm not taking anything away from Brock Purdy. I'm not. But Aiyuk had a lot to do with that. And he can do the same thing for Drake May. Literally do the exact same thing for May. So, obviously, the Steelers, he will be a great addition for the Steelers, especially with Diontae Johnson's departure. He would definitely add a lot of depth to that receiving unit. And the Chargers, he will be really great for the Chargers. Out of all these teams, I think Aiyuk can really thrive with the LA Chargers. I know he can. I know Aiyuk can, man, he is a Harbaugh guy. Like I said, Aiyuk is that all-around versatile type of player that Harbaugh will drool over. Oh, man, and Aiyuk can block. And Harbaugh, he don't want no receivers that can't block. So Aiyuk, he can do it all, man. But the only thing I gotta do research. I just don't think that the Chargers will want to take on his contract. I don't think they will. He will be solid with him though. The Cardinals.
the Cardinals would be really great for Aiyuk. I mean, him returning to Arizona, not the Arizona Cardinals, but he played college ball at Arizona. And I know the Cardinals, they just signed Marvin Harrison, but hey, man, hey, Brandon Aiyuk and Marvin Harrison Jr. with Kyler Murray, that'll be solid. That'll be a solid offense right there. That will be a solid offense. You know, I mean, but at the end of the day, Aiyuk is too productive. He's too productive. His performance is too valuable. It's too high. But the 49ers has all the leverage, which complicates this entire situation. And I definitely understand Aiyuk's frustration. He wants to get paid. He wants to secure the bag, which he should. James Jones said something that was really cool. I like that James Jones said this. He said that, I'm paraphrasing, but he was saying that if you get a gold jacket and you're broke, you fail in the league. Now, if you made your money while you were in the NFL, you succeeded. Which I completely agree with that, because at the end of the day, the NFL is a business. You made it to the NFL, it's a business. Collect your money, get your checks. Now, there is a thin line between that. Like, I do believe that playing the game and winning and getting at least one ring should be your main priority. I do believe that, how you play the game and your character and the brain that you are putting out to the world when they see you play, I do believe that is like that is an investment to your future value, to your future brand, because people are going to respect you more and they're going to jump on your parade more. And if you are a businessman, you're collecting the money, but you are also developing businesses or a product or something, or you have really great you have really great financial professionals around you that you can trust, or educate yourself on it. You can make a lot of money when you leave the league, especially if you had a very decorated career. So instead of just trying to get the bag right now, be an entrepreneur, be a creator, and use those resources that you have while you're in NFL to create something of value and build up your brand. And then people will flock to you, while you retire, while you're getting that gold jacket. I mean, Tom Brady was underpaid throughout his entire career. So was Michael Jordan. Now look at them. They're making more money than they have coming out of the league than they were when they were in the league. I mean, you're going to be a multimillionaire anyways if you're a starter. So, you use that money for your leverage. Use that resources. Invest in that. Create. So, yeah, get the money, Aiyuk. Get that money. I'm not trying to say Aiyuk shouldn't get it, but at the same time, just use some wisdom with it. And I'm not saying that Aiyuk isn't being wise what he's doing. I would be doing the same thing what Aiyuk is doing. And Aiyuk may also feel too that he might have a better chance of winning somewhere else. He can get the bag and he can have somewhere else a better chance of winning. Which, I mean, if he goes to the Steelers, without a doubt, he's definitely going to have a better chance of winning with the Steelers. Definitely will. Definitely will. I mean, he got Russell Wilson throwing him the ball. Russell Wilson is a better quarterback than Brock Purdy. And, man, that'll be great. That'll be awesome if he played for the Steelers, man. It really, really would. So, yeah. I hope everything works out for Aiyuk. I really do. And I know it will. It's just a matter of time when it will. He's pissed off right now. He's irritated. He's frustrated. But when the 49ers sign him, it's going to be all, it's going to be all solid. It's going to be all great. All this is going to go right through the window. This video is going to be old. Nobody's going to come back on this video. Nobody's going to watch this video anymore because it's going to be old news. It's not going to be matter anymore. But I make this video to just let people know. I mean, don't worry about, if you're a 49er fan, don't panic. Aiyuk is staying with the Niners. He may even retire with the Niners, but there is going to be a cost with that. They're going to re-sign him, but at what cost? I don't think that Samuel will be able to stay with the Niners. I don't think the Niners will be able to keep Kittle. Those would be my two hot takes. I think that when they get finished signing Aiyuk and Purdy, I believe that Samuel and Kittle will be gone. That'd be my hot take. I believe Samuel and Kittle will be gone by next year when they sign Aiyuk to a huge contract in Purdy. I could be wrong, but I do believe that. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, let me know what you think. If you like this video, if you're liking this channel, if you have any ideas, you have things you want me to talk about, football related, please let me know. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you don't agree with anything I'm saying, please let me know. Comment if you don't think that Aiyuk is a top 5 wide receiver, let me know. If you have your top 5 wide receivers, if you're a receiver that I didn't name, let me know. I'll just say at the top of my head, receivers that were, and I'll leave it on this. Receivers that I believe that was top 5 last year, top of my head. Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Nico Collins, Aiyuk, and then CeeDee Lamb just came to my mind. CeeDee Lamb. No. AJ Brown. Take CeeDee Lamb out. AJ Brown. Those are my top 5 right there. Top 5. All in that order. You know what? Yeah, all in that order. Let me know what you think. If you disagree or agree. All right. We here all day. I'm doing this all day. Football is my thing all day. And we're going to be back very soon.